Top 7 mental illusions that break logic. To chill with. The curtain rises. When logic fails us, picture this. You're in a dream that feels real. Streets you've never seen feel familiar. You walk through a door and end up in your childhood bedroom or maybe on a mountaintop without transition, yet it makes sense. Until it doesn't. The world folds in strange ways. That's what mental illusions are. Not mistakes, but sudden bends in the smooth road of logic. Thought detours. Mind spirals. Mental illusions aren't visual tricks like spinning spirals or shifting colors. They live deeper, in the quiet spaces between thought and belief. They're logical knots, paradoxes, and self-reflective loops. They're when the very system we use to make sense of the world, logic, turns on itself and dissolves into mist. And here's the eerie part. These illusions don't reveal flaws. They reveal truths. Truths about how our minds prefer consistency over accuracy. About how we crave sense more than certainty. They're not bugs, they're built in. To explore mental illusions is to peel back the safety net of knowing. You realize you've never truly walked on solid ground, just on thoughts that felt solid enough. But instead of fear, there's freedom. The unknown is no longer a threat. It's a soft fog to float through. This is your invitation, not to solve, but to surrender. Let's begin with a simple sentence that undoes itself, and you. The liar's loop. Can truth tell a lie? This sentence is false. It's 6 words. But they split reality like a blade. You read it and something short circuits. Is it true? Then it must be false. But if it's false, then it must be true. Round and round we go. The liar paradox is ancient, first traced to the Greek philosopher Epimenides. It's a self-referential loop, a sentence that declares its own falsehood. But in doing so, it breaks logic. Truth can't settle. It oscillates endlessly, like an echo bouncing between 2 mirrors. Why does this matter? Because it shows the limits of our tools. Language, logic, thought, all can be twisted by recursion. The mind loves patterns, but this pattern cannot close. It's a reminder that not all problems are meant to be solved. Some are meant to be marveled at. Like staring into a mental infinity mirror. From a sentence that devours itself, we drift toward something even more unsettling. A choice you can't make, and a mind paralyzed by reason. The Buridan's trap. Can you choose at all? Picture a donkey. It stands equidistant between 2 identical piles of hay. No difference in size, smell, or shape. The donkey hesitates. It can't decide. Minutes pass. Hours. Days. It starves. Not for lack of food, but for lack of a reason. This is Burans Paradox, a thought experiment about pure rationality. In a world where no option stands out, reason alone fails to produce action. The donkey is the victim of logic, a system that demands difference to justify movement. We think we choose logically, but most real choices aren't clean. In fact, we often act because of small nudges, intuition, randomness, emotion. These are not flaws. They're how we escape paralysis. Buridan's donkey isn't a warning, it's a whisper. Too much reason can freeze the soul. But what if the issue isn't just choices? What if even your beliefs, the things you think you control, are illusions too? The belief illusion. Do you choose your thoughts? Try this. Really try. Believe, just for a moment, that the sky is red, or that gravity no longer works. Try to believe, not pretend. You'll find you can't. Not really. Beliefs feel like choices. But they aren't. You can't will yourself to believe something you think is false. That's the illusion. Your mind presents beliefs to you ready-made. They arrive like visitors, not creations. You are the audience, not the author. If belief is involuntary, what is responsibility? How do we change minds, ours, or others? Maybe persuasion isn't about argument, but about context, slow shifts in the landscape of thought. We don't build beliefs. We grow them. And like plants, they need conditions, not commands. If even belief is outside your grasp, what about time itself? Is the flow of past to future real, or just a story you're telling yourself? The memory mirage. Is time an illusion? You remember yesterday. You anticipate tomorrow. But you can't do the reverse. Why? Time feels like it flows, a one-way river. But physics doesn't see it that way. Most fundamental laws of physics are time-symmetric. Run them forward or backward, they work. The only difference? Entropy, the measure of disorder, increases over time. That's it. Your sense of time flowing is a result of memory. Your brain stores past states, but not future ones. So time feels real, even if it might not be. What if the universe isn't moving? You are. Not physically, but mentally. Each moment, a snapshot. You're not riding a river. You're flipping pages in a book. And your memory? It's the illusionist making you believe it's all continuous. Time might not pass. You just remember in sequence. And in a world where even time might be an illusion, who are you, really? The fixed self? Or just a story in constant rewrite? The ship of you? Are you the same person you were? Imagine a ship. You replace one plank, then another. Over years, every single part is new. Is it still the same ship? Now ask, if every cell in your body changes over time, if your thoughts and values evolve, are you still you? This is the ship of Theseus, a paradox of identity. We assume continuity, that a person is a stable entity. But our memories fade, habits shift, perspectives transform. What remains? What anchors you? Maybe the self isn't a thing, but a process. A river, not a stone. We cling to the idea of me as a single thread, but perhaps it's a braid of moments stitched together by narrative. You are not the same person who began this video. And that's not a problem. It's a dance. So if even you are not solid, if even the self is uncertain, what about reality itself? Let's drift into the final illusion, the ultimate question of knowing. The simulation of doubt. Can you know anything at all? What if nothing is real? What if you're a dream in someone else's sleep? Or a brain in a tank, fed experiences by a machine? Would you know? Descartes imagined an evil demon, a being powerful enough to deceive all his senses. Today, we call it the simulation hypothesis. If a future civilization could simulate consciousness, how would we know we're not inside it? If your senses can be fake, then even your own hands might be part of the dream. This isn't about proving reality false. It's about realizing how fragile certainty is, and how, sometimes, that's beautiful. If nothing is solid, then everything becomes fluid. If you can't know for sure, you're free to wonder. Not knowing isn't a failure. It's a form of peace. A gentle paradox. You've drifted through illusions, loops, paradoxes, mirages. But these aren't traps. They're invitations. Your mind, vast and soft, doesn't need to solve the world. It just needs to breathe with it. Let go of answers. Float with the questions. These illusions aren't flaws in logic. They're glimpses beyond it, into a deeper quiet. Let your thoughts ripple and dissolve. Let doubt become comfort. And if you find yourself smiling in the fog, that's the real illusion. Thank you for wandering.